For folks waiting on the call, we're just waiting for a city attorney, and then we'll get this meeting started. Chair Becker, how are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Vice Chair Niger. Thanks for asking.
All right. 4:03 p.m. Let's get this meeting started. Call it to order. Items listed on the agenda may be taken out of the order presented. Two or more agenda items for consideration may be combined, and any item on the agenda may be removed or related discussion may be delayed at any time. Backup material for this agenda may be obtained from Luann D. Holmes, City Clerk at the office of the City Clerk, 495 South Main Street, second floor, or on the city's webpage at www.lasvegasnevada.gov. Moving on to item number 1, call to order and roll call, please.
Chair Becker,
Present by teleconference.
Vice Chair Niger,
Yep.
Commissioner Armenian, excused Commissioner Gabray, excused Commissioner Howard, excused Commissioner Keller,
Present.
Commissioner Martin,
Here.
Commissioner Zamora,
Present.
Commissioner Cornwall, excused Commissioner Burgos, excused Commissioner Robinson,
Present.
Commissioner Stitt, excused Commissioner Vokitz,
Present.
Commissioner Jones, Commissioner Wall. You have a quorum.
Thank you very much. Moving on to agenda item number 2, an announcement regarding compliance with open meeting law. Are we in compliance?
We are.
Wonderful. Moving on to number 3, public comment. Comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters on the agenda for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Hello.
Good afternoon. I think given the new location, I wanted to jump in toward the beginning of the agenda today and participate during public comment for my welcoming remarks. For the record, Pat O'Mara, Deputy Director of Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs. It's my privilege today to welcome you to this beautiful new Civic Center building, the new home of our administrative team for Parks, Recreation, and Cultural Affairs, as well as other departments. We have Human Resources down on the first floor where you entered, and then IT above us, bringing a lot of, not quite all of, but a lot of the city's staff together in a more cohesive unit. So it's been a dream for a lot of people for a lot of years, and it's great to see it coming to fruition. I wanted to mention to you that this Thursday, September 4th at 8:30 in the morning, we will be doing our ribbon cutting for the building and for our Goodman Plaza outside, which you may have seen on your way into the building. I encourage you to be taking a look from some of our higher vantage points here on the second floor to see the beautiful space that we have for some of our special events and as part of our City Hall campus. And then finally, I did want to also welcome and introduce all of you to Miss Rebecca Holden. She is with our administrative team here for Parks, Recreation, Cultural Affairs. She'll be helping Ashley with the administration of this board. And you will see her on days like today where Ashley is unavailable. But then you will see them working in tandem throughout the time. But did want to make sure that I welcomed you all to this space, and look forward to welcoming those of you who are on the call and unavailable today in the future as we have our meetings in this beautiful building. So again, thank you, welcome, and have a great meeting.
Thank you very much. New building smell, it's wonderful. Any other public comments? Very good. Moving on to item number 4, for possible action to approve the final minutes by reference of the regular meeting of June 3, 2025. Do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
Commissioner Vokas, I so move.
Motion. Commissioner Zamora, second.
I have a second. Any objections? All approved?
Aye.
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 Motion carries, minutes approved. Moving on to item number 5, there was a request to hear items 5 and 8 at the same time, and unless I have any objections, seeing none, I will read both. Item number 5, report by the Department of Public Safety regarding issues at city facilities and parks, all wards. And item number 8, presentation by the Department of Public Safety regarding an overview of the department and its role in maintaining safety within city parks and facilities, all wards. Hi, I think if you just push the person with the, good luck with your mic, I guess.
Lieutenant Cheryl Manning, Department of Public Safety, CHERYL, Manning, MANNING.
Good afternoon. I am Rob Straube, ROB, Assistant Chief, Department of Public Safety.
For the month of August, the Department of Public Safety had 847 calls for service in the month of August. We had a total of 324 either arrests or citations during the month of August. And please note that the calls for service total does not include our perimeter checks, the securing of facilities, or our out-of-vehicle calls. For Ward 1, there was a total of 136 calls for service. We had a total of 56 citations or arrests. And the top 3 parks in Ward 1 was Rotary Park with 15 citation and or arrests for different park violations. Bob Baskin Park, 8 citation and or arrests for different park violations. And Gary Dexter Park for 8 citation or arrest for warrants and other park violations. For Ward 2, there was a total of 60 calls for service. We had 25 citation or arrest. Angel Park had a total of 13 citation or arrest, and some of the charges, the top charges was lewd behavior and park violations. Kellogg's Air had 5 citation arrests for wrongful possession of shopping cart, and Bruce Trent Park had 5 citation arrests for park violations. In Ward 3, we had 282 calls for service with 126 citation or arrest. Justice Levitt, Rafael Rivera, and Gary Reese were our top 3 parks. In Justice Levitt, we had 38 citation or arrest for park violations and warrants. Rafael Rivera had 11 citation or arrests for different park violations. And Gary Reese Freedom Park had a total of 10 citation or arrests for park violations and warrants. In Ward 4, we had a total of 37 calls for service. We had 2 citation or arrests, and the top 2 parks was Winding Trails Park and Buckskin Park. In Ward 5, we had 274 calls for service, 112 citation arrests. Lorenzi Park, Ethel Pearson, and Fitzgerald Park were our top 3 parks. Lorenzi Park had 20 citations or arrests for park violations. Ethel Pearson Park had 22 citation arrests for different park violations and or warrants. And in Fitzgerald Park, we had 10 citation or arrests for different park violations. In Ward 6, we had a total of 58 calls for service. We had 3 citation or arrests. The top 2 parks was Estelle Neal for 2 citation or arrests and Centennial Hills Park for 1 citation or arrest for park violation. We have 3 trailer cameras. The first one was at Tom Boulevard and Iron Mountain. This one was downed towards the end of June for annual service. The second camera was deployed to the Llama Lot for potential protest. And the third camera was still down for service for the month of June. In June, we had 2 community-oriented policing events. On June 25th at Doolittle Community Center for a summer camp.
We'll pause there for any questions or comments.
Commissioner Wall, is this comparable to previous years, or what's the difference?
So on the document that was provided to you, it does show our 2000, when compares month to month from August 25 to August of 2024. And you can see that the majority of them are a little either higher or about the same. Like, for example, in Ward 3 and Ward 5 went down a little bit, but.
Commissioner Jones, I want to applaud you for the presence that you guys have brought to our community with the young kids and being over there. It's a lot of times that I'll go through there and I see where you guys, I understand the city is growing and growing and growing, and you guys don't have enough staff, but I do applaud you guys for being over at the parks and also helping out in the community with code enforcement. So I applaud you for that.
Commissioner Vokitz, Ward 1. Again, please share with your staff our gratitude for what they do. I do frequent the parks in the mornings, but by around 11 o'clock, there's folks that are kind of succumbing to the heat. So my general question is, if an individual passes out or is over-exercising, who do we call? Do we call the park marshals? Do we call 311? I mean, what's the best way to handle someone who essentially is overheated?
I would always say that you should always call 911 because it will divert the information to the appropriate department. So if you called 911 and it was a medical emergency, it would be sent over to fire. to handle and to get dispatched out. So I would always say 911. And if it does happen in the park and Metro's 911 system takes the call, they will inform us as well so that we can be dispatched to the park.
Commissioner Keller here, Ward 3. Is there any policing events that we can share with our community for the month of September?
I will get back with you and check the different wards and let you know what events are coming up.
Vice Chair Niger, I've got one for you. The trailer cam being dispatched for potential protest, is that a typical use for those?
Rob's, excuse me, I'm a little under the weather, so bear with me. Rob Straube for the record. No, it's not the norm. What we were more talking about is the quite often frequent protests that we had there for a while. It was another asset that we can use, eyes on the ground. Most of the times those cameras are going to be used for council action request and or other places that we deem need a little more attention. A lot of times just the camera itself is a deterrent, along with the lights on it and whatnot. So not the norm, but we will utilize it in that kind of scenario. Again, it's a force multiplier with our other assets.
Thank you. I'm not seeing any other questions, so is that clear item number 5 and you want to move on to 8? Wonderful.
All right, again, Rob Straube for the record, Assistant Chief. I currently oversee the Deputy City Marshals. Again, appreciate the commission for having me here today to just talk a little bit about DPS, what we look like, kind of what we do. So I'll kind of give you a brief overview of that. I'm not sure which slide this is. That looks like you're still on yours. Here we go. So, as you know, one of you mentioned, Commissioner Jones, how much we're growing, right? And so we oversee, as a city as a whole, over 130 plus facilities, 140 square miles. The city is, that includes over 100 plus parks. As you stated so eloquently, couldn't agree more, right? We're trying to do more with less. And so how do we deploy our marshals? You know, we are fairly fortunate that we are not, which I'm going to talk about, we are not a 911 agency. So our officers have the ability to be a little bit more proactive, and we can really get in our marshals into certain areas that may need some more assistance. Talk about DPS as a whole. Not only the marshals, we have a big footprint in all these areas. As you probably know, we have a big footprint on Fremont as well. So a lot of the times you'll see our marshals down there on the different shifts. Day shifts a little lighter than our swings and our graveyard shift that goes down there 2, 3 in the morning to help with some of the cleanups, as you can imagine, as people are leaving from their night of fun. We make sure we help them out. We also have bike patrol down there that helps as well. We have a K-9 officer that is deployed down there. We obviously, our substation down there is Metro Unified, so both of us have a footprint down on Fremont. They regularly patrol around the area. They also have their bikes that they get in there with as well. Just DPS as a whole, I'm sure you know we have a detention center. It's another piece of our pie. That is a misdemeanor facility, and we average around 500 inmates, misdemeanor inmates, pretrial inmates in that facility. We also have our APS, and they do tens of thousands of calls. The numbers are astonishing how much work they do. So I want to make sure I mention they're also a piece not only of what the marshals do. We have almost 200 plus sworn officers altogether between our corrections and our marshals. And just to give you a sense of what that looks like, our marshals are Category 1 peace officers. That means they're better known as police. We have our bread and butter, lack of better words, which is our city properties and city-owned lease properties. Our corrections officers are Category 3 officers, which are better known as corrections officers. Just to kind of give you an idea of who we have out there. The other 100 plus, almost 200 are our administrative staff, the ones that do all this, made these pretty slides and provide the information so we can put it out to you guys. And again, they're the ones that do everything behind the scenes. I talked about our officers being proactive. what you'll find, and Lieutenant Manning touched on a little bit, if there's a violent crime in one of our parks, most of the time Metro will take lead on that. If you're involving guns or other kind of weapons, things like that, again, violent crimes, some of the felonies, we have full capabilities to do that, but our partnership with Metro allows them, we have a good partnership and an understanding more of the violent crimes they will come in and handle for us. On the Marshall side, I just want to hit a few of the specialty units and just kind of what like our marshals look like overall. So we obviously have our patrol marshals, which is a bulk of our staff that are out there patrolling, and the different wards and the ones you see on a day-to-day basis. We have a motors team that specifically consists of 4 officers. 2 of them are daily on their motorcycles. Their objective is to hit our washes and trails, to get in and get out. As you can imagine, vehicles are not an optimal resource to be able to get in and out of a lot of these washes and trails, so they do a great job at getting in there, breaking up some of these encampments and enforcing in the parks and those areas that our vehicles just cannot get in. We have a POP team, our police-oriented, problem-oriented policing team. Sorry, I almost messed that up. And what they do, we have 4 officers. They are looking at specifically downtown area, arts district. They're looking at the underlying causes of crime. That's their specific job. Why are these things happening? How can we try to get ahead of it? They do an excellent job of meeting with our business owners downtown, seeing what's going on, getting feedback from them. We just, I believe it's this week, a 5th officer starting. We call it a tourist liaison, and basically what that officer is going to be is on Fremont specifically. That will work with Fremont security up and down, looking at busker violations, those types of things. Again, make it a safe area for our visitors to be able to conduct business and visit a safe place. We also have our conditions team. They are in our gray uniform. Sometimes you might see them. They work with our city rapid response. And basically that is dealing with encampments and cleanups. Wherever they're called day to day, it changes. Could be council action request. They will go in there. Our number one, I want to make it clear, is always provide resources. But again, we go back. At some point, there is an enforcement piece to that. They move a lot of, I'll call tonnage, debris throughout their shift. And so they do a great job of just making sure they're cleaning up these areas that we're made aware of on a daily basis. Part of that conditions team, we have our dignitary team. You see with the mayor a lot, plain clothes, and obviously with the new mayor, they're very busy. So again, they take care of our mayor and any needs she may need. We also have a CIS team as our criminal investigations team. So as officers make arrest, they find crime, they will pass it off to our criminal investigations team for follow-up investigation. And this consists of about 3 officers. We also have one at the Fusion Center for Metro that can report out to us if we need information quick. And again, their main job is to follow up. It could be anything from internal throughout the city to external, depending on the crime. It could be copper wire, it could be some kind of theft. And again, because our patrol officers are out there doing in the daily grind, they do the follow-up on the back end. The civic team. So the civic team is basically our marshals that you see at the front desk of City Hall. And you will currently, as this is opening up, see a few over here as well. And it's exactly what it sounds like. So we have one stationary at City Hall. We'll have one stationary over here at the plaza. And then we have 2 that roam the perimeter along with our security partner that also 24/7 does a patrol in this area. So that quickly, without boring you too much, is a kind of a quick overview of the department in general, specifically the marshals. There's some, I can't admit that I made this slide, but there's some fancy stuff on here that I'll just go quickly with you real quick. We talked about our routine patrols, right? Our CEPTED is crime prevention through external design. And what that is, anytime we open up a new facility such as this, I think it's a perfect example. We have officers that are trained and have been trained to go through, look at what we'll call soft spots or areas that may need an additional camera, additional security. It could be a park that's about to open or a current park that we're seeing a lot of activity in. Maybe it's bushes we need to cut down, trim down. Maybe it's more signage. That basically is what CEPTED is talking about there, where we can be requested, we can come in and look at something and give ideas through our city partners on how we might make a place safer. The Coper curve that you see up there, it's a term that's been used by Metro quite a bit. Coper is the name of a gentleman that came up with this. Basically what that is, it's deterring crime by putting one of our patrol units in an area every 2 hours for no more than 15 minutes. So if we talk about, Lieutenant Manning talked about like a Levitt Park, we'll have our marshals go in there every few hours for about 15 minutes. My expectation for our marshals is they actually get out of their car, they do foot patrol, they talk to people, see who's in the park, and they enter it into their system. One thing we just rolled out as of yesterday, we call automatic CAD, because our officers are able to be proactive and they do not have calls stacked like Metro. We're able to do this program, which again, we just rolled out. And what that looks like, and it's based off the Coper curve model, through the stats that we get, every month I get provided to me, I'm able to identify anywhere from 5 to 10 what we consider hot spots, hot parks, hot city places, things that we need to be paying a little more attention to. Through this program, I can go through our dispatch and have our officers automated calls for service where they go into these parks 24/7 throughout the shift. So our patrol officers, every couple hours, they may go to Justice Levitt, they may go somewhere else downtown, another park that's been identified. And then eventually, you know, after a month or two, we're gonna start looking at this data and are we having an effect, a positive effect? Because we're proactive, our marshals, if they wanted to, they could potentially even make this area, you know, a hot spot. But we know where our hot spots are and we know what the data and the crime shows. So again, we want to be real intentional about deploying our marshals to these specific spots that we believe need some extra attention. So that's what the Coper curve is, and that's what we've just implemented. I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the results on that. On the technology, good. On the technology piece, and I'll move along here a little quicker. On technology piece, we work with city's IT department very closely. We're always leveraging technology to deter crime. Not too long ago, we implemented our flock cameras. That's 11 cameras that are downtown area. They're license plate readers. They can tell if a stolen vehicle, maybe they're a missing person and whatnot, and that can flag our officers to pay attention to this vehicle that's coming into this area. We used to call it a flock of cameras. Metro has 10s and 20s and 50s of these cameras. And so it's a flock of cameras. We all get to use the same system. And there's a lot of crime. The Cybertruck incident at Trump Towers, that was through flock cameras. And so it's a really good tool when we talk about technology that we can leverage to, again, deter crime. The collaboration, again, I spoke on that a little bit. That is working with our Metro partners and our other agencies. We can't do this alone. As Commissioner Jones said, you know, with our staffing and whatnot, we have to rely on each other. So we've really worked hard to build these relationships and ensure we can help each other out. Maybe it's a joint task force sometimes that we're involved in to help them out, and they'll help us out as well. The COP, community order policing, Lieutenant Manning talked about, but our officers are always out there. We're always going into schools, whether it's reading books and doing a lot of different things. But I know we probably have some stuff coming up, so we'll make sure to get that to you all. And then for the, this is a little hard to read on my paper, but I can go through this. For the month of July, Lieutenant Manning talked about it a little bit. I think what I want to focus on here, we've seen, to answer one of the questions before, we have seen quite an increase year to date in our arrests and citations. You can see there's 63.7%, and that's the boots on the ground. Those are the folks doing their jobs. Nothing special I'm doing or our leadership team. This is us putting out the message and them listening to us and getting into these areas. And again, we always want to provide resources what we can, but a lot of times, unfortunately, we do have to enforce. And as you can see on the top left, there are top park violations. I could probably read it better up top there. I apologize. Justice Levitt, the trail, and the reason the trail you're seeing on there, our motors have been really intentional about getting into those washes and trails. That's why that number has spiked like it has. The top park violations, as you'll see, and she touched on it earlier, the remaining park after hours, unlawful presence, and misuse of park property. And the chart at the bottom, it can be a little interesting read, but I think what's important to see the trend going up. Again, we continue to get out there with the resources that we have and make a difference. I'm really proud of what our marshals are doing, and I appreciate earlier the mention of that being recognized. And again, for August, I think it's important to note that Justice Levitt, it's one of our properties that are on the Cobra Curve model that we're going to be in quite a bit. Our conditions team also goes in there to engage with the unhoused. We already talked about some of the top violations. Excuse me. Prior months enforcement total. So in June we had 285. July we had 305. 13.7 increase from June to August. This is due to a greater focus on our parks and rec centers. And again, I spoke about it earlier and just want to end with every month our crime analysis will send reports to us and then let us know what we need to be paying attention to. We want to be a learning organization. We want to make sure that we're data driven. And so we'll look at all these. Not that anything at the bottom is less important. Any of these can peak at any moment. But we definitely want to make sure, like Cobra Curve and things like that, we give some of these top parks that we're aware of, give them a little more attention than others. Again, we have marshals assigned to every ward. So they should be enforcing, and that's my expectation. Go into your community center, say hi, visit, get out there, do foot patrols, see what's going on. Part of that Cobra Curve I talked about, when they go back to their CAD system, they need to answer 3 questions in there, such as how many people were in the park, did you do a foot patrol, what did you see, etc. And so those are things that we can look at. So I'm excited for what's to come. And again, I really appreciate you all allowing me the opportunity today to just briefly, maybe I wasn't so briefly, but come down, just kind of give a department overview, talk about some of the great things that we're doing. And again, we appreciate the support. We're a phone call away if you see something or need something. And that's one great thing that we are, is definitely reactive. If you have something we need to pay attention to, please reach out. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. That was incredibly helpful. You answered questions I didn't even know I had. Questions or comments from the commissioners?
As Commissioner Burgos, Ward 6, how as citizens can we help you and your marshals do a better job of, or how we can help, and how can we communicate that to our citizens?
Sure, and I appreciate that, Commissioner. It's always the see something, say something, right? And like Lieutenant Manning talked about, 911 is always the emergency, then obviously there's 311. We also have our dispatch at 702-229-6444, and that can put you through to, you see something in the park. Again, we are very reactive. But again, I think it comes down to the see something, say something. Be engaged to come to those community meetings. All my lieutenants hold ward meetings, and each lieutenant that I have is assigned to a specific ward, and they have these meetings. Please encourage them to come, ask questions, or bring up any concerns they may have, and we're going to do our darnest to make sure that we're responsive to those requests. Hopefully I answer your question. Oh, one thing I got to mention too, we also have a Citizens Police Academy, which just started last week, and I'm not sure how many were in there. It was 30. Approximately 30. And what that is, almost what I just talked about. They come in and learn everything from all walks of life, come in and learn about our department, from APS, our Animal Protection Services, our detention, our marshals. They get to do ride-alongs. They get to meet our canine. They get to go out in the field and see things. It's really a behind-the-scenes look. This is nothing new we invented. This has been going on at Metro and other agencies for quite a while. It's just something we decided we want to do. This is, I believe, our 3rd or 4th, and it's been very, very successful, and something we're going to continue to do. So that's another way to get involved, is become part of the Citizen Police Academy and really learn what it is we do versus like a Metro or some other agency.
Commissioner Keller here, Ward 3. What's the best way a neighbor can report an encampment site?
So kind of like Commissioner Burgos, right? See something, say something. So we have on our website, obviously I don't have it in front of me, through our website DPS, we have multiple ways to communicate with us. I believe there's a form stack on there where somebody can go on there and actually report it, and it will come to us. There's also other communication on there. I'm not sure if I'm on there or my lieutenants are on there, but I do know, and I'm sorry I can't answer your question fully because I don't have the site in front of me, but there are ways to report through our DPS website. You're welcome.
Wonderful. Thank you very much for being here. Thank you for your time.
Thank you all.
Great.
Have a good afternoon.
Moving on to item number 6, report by Steve Glimp, Parks and Grounds Maintenance Manager regarding park maintenance updates all wards. Hello, sir.
Howdy, Steve Glimp, Manager of Parks and Grounds Maintenance. Last name G-L-I-M. Just got a brief update for you guys on what we've been up to since we last met in June. Everybody hear me? Okay. All right. So in Ward 1, we built some new bullpens on the Little League fields at Rainbow Family Park. Next project for Ward 1 is going to be at Bob Baskin. We're converting one of the tennis courts to 4 pickleball courts. In Ward 2, Bruce Trent Park, we had to replace the park dedication sign that was stolen, which happens on occasion. The next project will be just a sign refresh at Angel Park Trailhead, all the wayfinding signs. In Ward 3 at J.C. Levitt, we've replaced the bocce ball shades. The next project will be at the Healing Garden. We're doing a tile project in support of, I don't know how many of you have been there, but there's a lot of tiles that people have created, right? And there was an excess of them that didn't get put up, and we have a few blank walls, and those will be going up on those blank walls. Ward 4, we have a new playground at Sky Ridge Park with new surfacing, and then the next project will be the big playground at Police Memorial. And Ward 5, new playground at Children's Memorial Park with surfacing, and then next project will be at Ethel Pearson basketball court resurfacing. Ethel Pearson, we're going to be doing a few separate projects, so you'll see that park, particularly for Ward 5, popping up in the next few months with stuff being done there. And then Ward 6, we actually installed a new plaque for Polly Gonzalez at Polly Gonzalez Park. There wasn't a dedication plaque specifically for her. And then the next project in Ward 6 is kind of TBD. We have a couple things in the chute. Well replacement at Floyd Lamb, some work at Teton Trails, splash pad. We just don't know which one's going to be next. That's all I got. If you have any questions, I'd be happy to answer them.
Yes. How you doing today?
Good.
So over in Ward 5, I can honestly say you guys have been doing a great job on the parks. Lorenzi Park, Circle Park, and not only in the park, but I see you guys have came through and cleaned up some of the communities in the area, so I appreciate you guys for that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burgos, Ward 6. At Floyd Lamb, I've been there several times over the summer and as recently as this weekend, but there's a couple of benches around the lake that I sent an email, but I hadn't heard anything yet, but they're covered by foliage and trees that people can't access. We were there, and actually there were some people using it and couldn't get to it and were complaining about it, so I don't know if that's something that can be done.
Yep.
And then as well as I was going to ask at the garden beds, which we're utilizing a lot for our nonprofit, but we did a great cleanup several months ago and a great response, and we're hoping that maybe we can organize another one. I know Councilman Bruni is on board for it, so if maybe we could get something together again, because those weeds have come back exponentially, and so I was hoping that maybe we can get something done out there to get that going, and we'd be happy to help. I have several organizations that would love to step up and do the cleanup, so if we could work something out.
Yeah, sounds good. We can definitely set something up, and I'll have staff address the the park benches.
Thank you.
Commissioner Vocus, Ward 1. A question on Cragen Park. I know it's a public works project, but can anyone comment on the status of Cragen Park and when we can expect to have an opening?
We are nearing the end of that project. I think we got, the contractor was just about done with the fields. We're going to do an update on the synthetic fields coming up here soon. And then we're waiting for a little bit cooler weather to actually plant to lay out the natural turf on the practice area and the ball field. That's really the last thing I believe that we have left, is for cooler weather to lay that out, and then those would be open sometime in the spring, I believe. Yeah, but the remainder of the park will be prior to that. Yeah, I believe that the school may even already be on the synthetic fields. So at least one of them was complete before school started. I think that we were still working with Public Works to get the school access to the synthetics before about the time that they went back into session last month. So we're nearing the end.
Vice Chair Niger, I had one question for you. Children's play structures, do we cover all of them? And how frequently do you have to replace those covers?
So any new ones we build, we're definitely putting shade over. We do have a few that do not have shade structures, but very few. I'd say maybe less than 5% within the system. And then again, so replacing the shade itself depends on the construction of it. If it's fabric, I mean, they can last, best case, they can probably last about 10, 12 years. Worst case, you put them up and the storm comes along and rips them apart and you're replacing them again. So, yeah, we've actually started leaning more towards hardtop shades in our parks. So, kind of getting away from the fabrics.
Thank you, sir. Any other questions, comments? Thank you very much. Moving on to item number 7, report by Lisa Tovar, Recreation Manager, regarding recreation and center updates, all wards. Hello.
Good afternoon. My name is Lisa Tovar. I'm the Recreation Manager, LISATOVAR. So summer camp ended on August 8th. I wanted to share with you guys that we had 1,590 youth participate in our camps this summer, which is fantastic. We have about 700 spots every week, but kids come and go throughout the summer. This is a picture of our All Camp Challenge held in June that the marshals mentioned earlier that they come out and support. And then today our after school program started up. So we have 5 locations at our community centers that we offer after school care programs. So those started today for the school year. And we have our fall sports starting soon. It's a record-breaking season. I wanted to share a few stats with you. Our Silver and Black Youth Flag Football League, which is for our East Side and West Side schools, starts September 11th. We have 392 players registered, which is our largest fall season to date. We have a new Youth Ultimate Frisbee League starting September 11th. Right now we have 17 kids registered. We've expanded registration to hope to pick up a few more. And then we have indoor hockey starting September 13th for youth. That's a partnership with the Las Vegas Golden Knights. We have 180 registered players, which is also our largest hockey season to date. Adult softball starts the week of September 15th, and we currently have 17 teams. Our adult and senior pickleball leagues start the week of September 29th. We've added 10 more leagues this fall because of the growing interest in pickleball. So we went from 21 to 31 leagues. We'll have 500 plus players this fall. And then lastly, we have our youth soccer league starting October 4th. We have 749 players currently registered, and that's our largest fall soccer season to date. So a great job to our sports team. They're really growing and doing a great job running all of those programs. And lastly, I wanted to share some upcoming events. We have our Grandparents' Day at Doolittle Active Adult Center on September 6th. our Fall Cup Power Wheels at Veterans Memorial on September 20th, a picnic and health fair at Doolittle Active Adult Center on September 25th. We have National Night Out at Doolittle Community Center on October 7th. And then our staff at Veterans Memorial will be participating in Summerlin Nights, which is a version of a National Night Out event that'll be on October 8th. And then next month, I'll have a lot more exciting Halloween events to share for you as we get later into October.
Wow. I am astounded by the numbers. It sounds like everyone's doing a great job. Questions, comments?
Yes. Miss Lisa, how you doing today?
Good, how are you?
Quick question on your, I've been kind of curious because Ward 5, I'm trying to get kids involved in hockey. How do we go about trying to get them involved? Because I know it's in certain areas where it's more prevalent than it is in Ward 5.
Yeah, so from my understanding, our indoor hockey program is mainly at Vets. They started the partnership with the Golden Knights, but we actually had a conversation today about expanding that out with our sports unit. So definitely, I will make a note, Ward 5, that's another location that we want to grow it to.
Yeah, because I spoke with the guy over at the Fiesta one time about trying to get more kids involved coming out of Ward 5 into hockey. But I understand pickleball is growing. I mean, it's pickleball and flag football is really like taking over, especially for young women. But it's going along good. And the summer programs you put on this year was real nice. I've seen a couple of them.
Well, thank you. And I'll bring it back to the sports team for indoor hockey in Ward 5.
Are those all volunteer coaches for the activities that you have going on?
Yes, we use volunteer coaches.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Burgos, Ward 6. I just wanted to say thank you very much. Earlier this year, did a Beyond the Boots, a women's retreat for our women veterans and warriors, and it was a great success. Heard from a lot of female veterans that really enjoyed it. And I know you have one coming up, Beyond the Boots Women's Retreat at Mount Charleston, September 12th and September 13th. So I know a lot of the women are really looking forward. So I just wanted to say thank you very much. Appreciate that you're actually reaching out to, our warriors in the community, and it's greatly appreciated.
Thank you.
See no others? Excellent work. Thank you very much. All right, moving on to item number 9, I believe, as 8 was covered during item number 5. Report by commission members regarding parks, issues, and events within their respective council wards and at large all wards.
Commissioner Burgos, Ward 6. On September 13th, Saturday, is the 9/11 Remembrance Day and Service Day Bash. It's from 8 to 10 a.m. at Floydland Park at Tully Springs. Join us as we honor the lives lost on 9/11 and the brave first responders. Last year, it was an amazing service, and we also had a cleanup, so that's going to be the same thing on September 13th. There is also, on Saturday, September 19th, Critters of the Night at Floydland Park. It's from 6:30 to 8 p.m., and you can sign up through the city of Las Vegas, but it's a great event. They had one earlier this year, and it was very successful. The kids loved it, so really I would encourage anybody to get out and attend it. And that's it.
Any others? Commissioners chair via teleconference, any comments?
Yeah, sure, Becker. I just wanted to thank you, Vice Chair Niger, for stepping up today and running the meeting. You did an excellent job. So kudos to that. I'm very happy to say that I'll be back in October. My recovery is going in a trajectory that suggests that. So I'm excited to see you all again and check out the new facility. So thank you so much.
Thanks. Happy to hear it. See you in October. No other comments? Moving on to item number 10, citizens' participation. Public comment during this portion of the agenda must be limited to matters within the jurisdiction of the commission. No subject may be acted upon by the commission unless that subject is on the agenda and is scheduled for action. If you wish to be heard, come forward and give your name for the record. The amount of discussion on any single subject, as well as the amount of time any single speaker is allowed, may be limited. Seeing no one in the chairs or audience, I will move on to item number 11, which is adjournment. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.